Hi, this is Jim Duffy of Refining Fire Chilies, and this won't be a chili video. It's going to be a gardening video. So, what we've just done is we've done pruning. Yes, pruning on our squash plants. Okay? And we did pruning on our cucumbers. Now, you can do this with melons and other squashes. These are yellow squash. And here's why. Have you ever noticed that most of the time when you grow squash, you get like a whole abundance of squash for like a month, and then the plants kind of poop out and the leaves get crappy and the plant gets crappy, or it gets powdery mildew or other diseases, and you just don't get anything more? Well, if you don't promote the plant to keep growing, it just kind of just gets a whole ton of leaves on it and then poops out after it's produced fruit. So when you prune the plant, it has a couple of advantages. Number one, you will get more squash for a longer period of time, or melons or cucumbers. So a rule of thumb, if you just want to start out in the beginning, and I've got one leaf there touching the ground. It wasn't touching the ground, but when I pruned the leaves off on this side, the plant flopped over to that side, and now that leaf's touching the ground. So what you want to do, if you want to just kind of take it one step at a time, is prune all the leaves that are touching the ground. Any squash leaf that's touching the ground. And then the other leaves you want to prune off are the ones that are overlapping onto your other squash plants or cucumber plants or other plants. Or if there's plants overlapping onto the leaves of your squash plants. Now what this does, of course, it puts more energy into the flowers and the fruit, so they produce more. Don't worry, it will grow more leaves. Don't worry about that. And the other thing it does is it provides airflow around the plant, and when you have airflow, you have less incidence of pests, less incidence of disease. So less chance of pests and less chance of disease. The third reason you want to prune your squash plants is, flowers are all different pretty colors and shapes. And, I believe God did that so we could enjoy the beauty of them. But one of the reasons why flowers have such striking, beautiful colors is to attract the bees and other pollinating insects. They see that pretty attractive color, and from a distance, it could be from 50 feet away, even more, because they have eyeballs that can see pretty well, and they see in multiple. If you ever seen a bee's or fly's eyeball, they see in like different dimensional things. I don't know, I'm not a bug scientist, but so when you prune the leaves off of the squash and cucumber plants, the flowers are more exposed and therefore easier to spot by pollinators, and therefore you get more pollination, which means more squash, melons, or cucumbers. Does this make sense? Now, I've seen a few other people teach on this, and that's where I learned, because I'm not the first person who discovered this by any means, but I want to share this information on my channel with those of you who come to my channel for chilies. It's not just about chilies, folks. Price of food is going to go way up, especially this fall of 2023 and winter. So it's, squash and cucumbers, it's not too late to start them. Green beans, not too late to start them. You'll get something. And even chilies, it's not too late to start them. From seed, yeah, but with plants, no. So this is another tip to get you more production. You know what? If you have too much production, you can always do some canning and preserving. And there's lots of videos online how to do that. And I'm going to learn how to do that this fall. And when I do, I'll make some videos showing how I'm doing it. Everything I do involving my growing, whether it's the chilies or my other gardening, I am going to share. Okay? So these squashes have been pruned. The one over here at the end has always looked bad. You notice its leaves are a lot darker. So I don't think it's going to do anything for me. In fact, I might pull it up. But I'll give it a chance. And then over here we have some Asian cucumbers. There's about 6 or 8 plants. They're kind of bunched together. But I pruned off some of the largest leaves on there. I left some of the large leaves, but I pruned off a lot of the large leaves. Not, I'd say about 30% of the large leaves I pruned off. And now they have more airflow going through them. So less chance of disease or less chance of pests. And when they start flowering, which they've already started to flower, there's one right down there in the corner. I don't know if you can see it from the distance. On this side, I know there's a cucumber flower. And these are an Asian type of cucumber called Asian jade or China jade. There's a lot I'm learning about cucumbers. There's cucumbers that need other cucumbers, male and female flowers. There's other cucumbers that just have female flowers. There's different types of pollinating cucumbers. And as I learn about that, I'll share that as well. But I wanted to grow these China jade or Asian jade because, frankly, they're thin-skinned and they're kind of got a sweetness to them, and they're very productive. So a lot of the Asian hybrids are really, really good. So anyhow, pruning some of these leaves off. And you know what? If you're scared to do it and you think, I don't trust what Jim's doing, just prune off the leaves that are touching the ground and just prune off a couple that are touching the plants next to them. I went a little bit further. I pruned off a couple more big leaves. You can see all of the flowers and squashes here. My dogs are wondering what I'm doing. I'm filming a video on pruning squash, doggies. Okay? Hey, doggies. I'm filming about squash and pruning. Okay? I'll be done soon. So anyhow, you can see how all the flowers are nicely exposed here. So that shouldn't be any problem for the pollinators to find them. Plus, it's easier to water them. When you get too much water with your hose on the leaf surface, city water, house water, that's when you can get some more fungal conditions. So now that it's kind of exposed, I can water directly at the base of the root without getting too many of the leaves wet. So that's another positive. And here's pretty much a big pile of the leaves I pruned off. So, like I said, I watched a few videos of people that have done this. And instead of getting a lot of squash production or cucumber production for like a month and then everything kind of like goes down, they got it for a few months. So I'm hoping the same thing will happen with me. I trust their judgment and what I've learned from them. We can all learn from each other. And back along the fence here, I have my green beans and Asian red noodle beans, which are also called asparagus beans or yard-long beans because they get super long. All right? So, I hope this knowledge helps some of you. This video will probably be up in about another week, probably close to mid-July. So got a bunch of other videos got to come up before it. And here's some of my chili plants over here. You can see how they're like really, really going off for my chili seed business. You see how big they are? Just thought I'd show you that really quick. All right, you all take care. This is Jim Duffy of Refining Fire Chilies, www.superhotchilies.com. And if you're seeing this video before mid-July, I still have a lot of chili plants left for sale. So come get some. Bye-bye.